Hello.
Welcome. Hi, Chris.
I've just started drawing a little ghost, Viv, from the little ghost pack. But what I'd love you to do is just take us through um, how you actually play Little Ghost, the card game.
How to play it? Yes. Right. I'm good at this. I've explained this before. So yes, this is all about Little Ghost. Uh, the kind of I think that was the second game we made, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
it's a really cute little game. Here it is. Um, and what you get in it is quite a lot of little ghosts. It's the instructions. You get this one. So yes, you get 5 different suits from 1 to 10, and each one has a delightful little ghost on it. And all of these suits represent different locations. So we've got the garden, we've got the attic, we've got the stairs. I've got the feeling we're like in some sort of grand spooky house. We've got the coast. Grand spooky house must be by the sea. And we've got the window, which is, I think, my favorite. I really love these little guys just looking out of windows. So what happens is, well, let me show you. First we take this one out, and then we shuffle. Whoop, shuffle. Do some shuffling. So what this is it's one of these card games where you play cards in the middle, and sometimes you bluff, sometimes you don't. Each one gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is not how you count, Viv. 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm so good at this. And there's a draw pad. I'm not going to.
When you bluff, Viv, this is, I'm going to ask you some questions as someone who, you know, isn't a natural sort of card player, but
Yeah.
I love the drawings. But when you're bluffing, you're pretending to hold a card that you don't in fact have.
Yes. And I can already see this might happen in this round. Here you see I've got like some ghosts in the garden, some ghosts on the coast. Here we are. Here they all are. And now imagine I'm starting this round. So the situation is we are ghost hunters and we are trying to catch this little ghost. And so we're doing a seance basically. And the player who starts decides where that seance is going to be. So I want to get rid of cards. You win by getting rid of all your cards. So looking at this, I would kind of start in the garden and let's play my first card and say we are in the garden.
So now, Viv, I would have to find in my hand of cards a ghost in the garden.
In the garden with a higher number. You actually do have one, so you could play that.
And I place that on top.
You place that on top. That's how it goes. So basically, it always goes in the middle of a garden, and this is all very easy. I can keep playing these. Another one, 4. You can't play the 3 now. It's too low. You can play the 5. You could do that. And basically, you can imagine you're in the seance, and like the energy of the summoning goes up, and we kind of keep saying, "Oh, there's a little, there's a little ghost in the garden. Here we see it. Here's the 6." You are now out of cards that you could play.
Right. Now, what do I do then?
Well, you could pass, or you could bluff.
Okay, let's bluff.
Let's bluff.
What do I bluff?
You just take like some other card that you want to get rid of. So maybe, I mean, you could try to get rid of this one, I don't know. And then you put it the other way.
Okay.
And you say, lights out.
So I don't have to say what I've actually placed.
No.
You've got to trust that I placed a higher scoring garden.
Yeah. You're pretending this is the garden and it's more than a 6.
Okay.
And I can decide whether to call you on that or not.
And what would you decide that I'm bluffing? I've got a very good poker face, so
you've got a very good poker face. So I mean, I kind of got a feeling, it could be the 9, it could be the 10, it could be It is probably quite likely that you're bluffing at this point. But let's say that I say, okay, I believe it. And then I could just, play another card on top of it.
This is my poker face.
It's so good.
So, quite frankly, I wouldn't call my bluff. I mean, come on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call your bluff. I could play this one on because it is a guard card. But I'm thinking, hey, if we're going that way, I'm just gonna bluff as well. And I'm gonna play.
What I would do, Viv, at this point,
Yes.
by the way, I'm sitting at the bottom of my garden in my studio.
Mm-hmm.
See just here, those are the little steps that lead up to the mezzanine area I've got up here in the rafters.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
right.
just about see it, yeah.
Yeah. Sun shining outside the two sort of windows. This is an old coach house.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knows I'm here. This is the sort of creative hub of the betonmond operation. Viv, you're talking from your studio, aren't you? Which is sort of down the road a ways. And I've just called your bluff. So what happens now?
Oh, Tat. Okay, you think I'm bluffing?
Yes,
You
I
really
do.
don't believe. You say this is not a garden card, and it's not a. It's not. It only has to be like. No, okay, fine. It's not. I bluffed.
I knew it.
That is very annoying. That means that this round is over, and it means that I got to take my card back, and all of this goes away, and you start a new round. And that's kind of how it
Start
goes.
a new round, Viv, not with fewer cards. Is that right?
Yeah, no, not with you. You already have fewer cards. You got 4 cards.
And the idea is that I get rid of all my cards.
You get rid of all your cards, and you can't start another round in the garden. But this is all details. It's like this. This is basically it's as easy as that. You can sometimes bluff. All the rules properly are in here. There are not that many rules. And what happens is basically always it goes around. You can play it with more people. You can play it with up to 4 people, I think. And it always goes around until somebody calls a bluff or until somebody plays a 10, and then the little ghost flies away and to a new location, and you do another round. And in the end, somebody gets rid of all their hand of cards, and then they can catch the ghost and be its best friend, I guess, because my god, it's so cute. You don't really want to do anything mean to that ghost. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I want to get into it too much more, just because you can read the rules.
And it's not a complicated game.
No, I know you've been playing it with the family, and
but also, Viv, tell me, there are other games you can play with this deck, aren't there?
Yes, they are. I mean, if you want to, like as we've said, it's just a straight up, like always cards from 1 to 10, and it's got 5 suits. So you can play quite a lot of classic games. You can play Rummy with it if you want to. You could play Uno. You might have to you can play quite a lot of stuff with it. You can play Snap if you want to. So it's just a really nice deck of cards as well that you can get whether you want to, like how much you want to get into the card playing or not. But it is actually a really fun game, I guarantee.
Okay,
it's the kind of game that makes people throw cards around again, which I said last time is a measure of quality. So yeah.
Okay, right. A challenge to you. You did actually say that we could play Snap. Shuffle your cards.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'm coming back.
I'm shuffling mine.
Yes.
I'm going to challenge you to a very quick game of Snap. Now, we say Snap when we have the same location.
That's already enough. Same location as Snap.
Or do we say
or the
Snap?
Same number as well. Number counts as well.
Same location, same number.
Number or location. Okay, so.
Oh, either or. So if we both put down a 3, one of us Snap. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 2, 3. No. 2, 3.
Hold your card up so I can see it, Viv.
Okay.
Excellent.
I don't know why I'm on the stairs so much. I really did not shuffle much.
That's upside down. You're disqualified.
This is more complicated than I thought. Come on. 2, 3. No.
Attic stairs.
I think we're gonna get quicker. Attic
Stairs.
stairs. No. More.
Oh,
Keep it. Hey!
so
Snap!
snap.
Snap! Snap! I got it. I
Did
see.
you?
I see.
Did you?
Look, this is complicated. This is a
It
very
is.
high stakes, complicated game. But yeah, you could if you wanted to. I can tell you the original rules are a bit better than Snap. That's one thing. So I'm going to give you the screen, and you can do some drawing, and I'm going to ask you some questions.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
all yours.
I'm going to start by saying that I said to Viv and Kevin, our games designer, that I wanted to do a card game with lots and lots of little ghosts. And I say lots and lots mainly because this is either 52 different ghosts or it is 52 cards of the same ghost in different locations. So it's up to you when you play the game which you think. I like to think it's the same ghost, but it's just in 52 different places. And the reason I wanted to do this was I was rather in love with drawing this little guy in a sheet, in a bed sheet with the traditional Halloween eye holes there. And the reason was that I work with an American singer called Phoebe Bridgers, and she's got a bit of a sort of, thing for Halloween and little ghost costumes. And I think on her first album, she had this very rather lovely album cover that had a childhood photo of that she had. And then the artist had put Tipp-Ex over the childhood photo. So it looked as if it was a little ghost. It was very effective.
Aww.
And that was right. It was called Stranger in the Alps was the LP. And I was very taken with that image. It's very simple and yet iconic, isn't it? And so I said to you, Viv, can you design me a game where I can draw 52 different little ghosts in different locations? And you came up with the little ghost pack. And once it had been done, I then sort of was contacted by Phoebe to tell me that she was playing with her band Boy Genius at a gig in London, in a park in London, a great big park called Gunnersbury Park in West London. And she invited me to come up to the concert. And I thought, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go up to the concert and I'm going to bring a pack of little ghost cards. And my mission was to get Phoebe to hold a pack of these cards and smile sweetly while I took a photo to publicize the little ghost game. And that's what happened. And she was very, very nice about it. And she said, of course she would. And she held the pack of cards and the box and held it up to the camera. And I took a photograph and I posted it on my social media. And then I enjoyed just a fabulous, fabulous performance standing at the back of the stage, looking out at 25,000 people while Boy Genius played to them. So it was really nice little sort of, ending to the production process of Little Ghost. And so every so often I'll go to my camera roll and I will post up that photo of Phoebe holding the cards every so often, just to pique people's interest so they can come back and go, I wonder what that game's all about. I wonder how I can play that. I like to think, Viv, that Phoebe Bridges is our unofficial betonmond ambassador.
In this case, yes. I like that you say that it's like that was the end of the production process.
Well, we had actually we'd made the cards.
We'd made the card. Yeah, we made the first version of the cards, and I was still running it through the tests and going and refining.
Right.
Yes, it was very fun. It's really, yeah, it was really match tested. I took it to different playtest groups in London and in Brighton and Croydon. Well, that's London really,
and then do you remember,
it's very
Viv,
nice.
we did our launch event
Yes.
at a little microbrewery down the road from where we live.
That was so nice.
We just projected sort of drawings on a screen in the pub garden
Hmm.
and played ghost-related songs.
That was
Uh,
good.
it was good. I think you helped with the playlist, Viv, and came up with a few good ghost-related songs.
Yeah, oh, that's nice. We should do that more often.
We
Anyway,
should do another one, shouldn't we?
can I ask you? I've been wondering this because you had absolute freedom as to where the ghosts go. I remember I just said 5 locations.
hmm.
What's I was they're very interesting locations. Why did we end up with the stairs and the coast and the garden? I think they're really nice. It's just not what I would have thought
Hmm.
of. And then it's just there's something really delightful about them being unexpected to
Well,
me.
it's the idea, I suppose, of sort of, where ghosts manifest themselves and
Mm.
why. I always think it's sort of places where they were, you know, but for our little ghost, because it's a rather cheerful little ghost, I think places where the little ghost was happy, maybe. And also, I like to think that it actually says something profound about my state of mind. So possibly one could use these cards to sort of analyze, what does a garden? I suppose a garden is a fairly straightforward, I suppose, as a sort of place where you might see a little ghost. But I think certainly windows, sort of ghostly apparitions at windows.
Ooh, yes.
Quite interesting. You look up and then you suddenly sort of see something and then it sort of disappears from view.
It's so nice that the whole I just like laying out all the window cards and just like imagining that it's like one very strange big building. That's like
I think the idea of sort of the coast, on the coast, I think
mm,
because I wanted to draw waves, and there's something sort of slightly mournful about sort of an empty beach by moonlight. I think of this Moonlight Sonata playing in the background as this ghostly apparition sort of, wanders along the sands.
I like that it's got
Uh,
no hands. Like it's got no hands. It's got a little bucket but no hands.
that's
Is it
true. I mean,
gonna play with that back? Like it's just like it's
it
that
can always
moment. Oh,
it can always manifest a sort of,
you can a bit, can't it?
a hand. So it's sort of, almost sort of underneath the folds of the shroud.
Yes.
So it could possibly, sort of pick up a spade and make a little sort of, sort of ghostly sandcastle. I wonder if by definition a ghostly sandcastle, a sandcastle made by a ghost is extra fragile. Possibly it disappears even as the ghost manipulates the sand to make it.
Maybe. I mean, they always disappear, don't they? Maybe that's what ghosts would like about them.
And
Anyway.
the other thing I think is the attic, and I like the idea of a sort of attic room where we keep sort of forgotten things, that we, I suppose, put into storage, because storage terribly important. It's amazing how one can put things in storage and forget all about them. And recently, I found a box of things I'd put away in my attic from when I first moved into the house I now live in, and it was a time capsule because it was 30 years old.
Mm.
I sort of pulled out this box and opened it. It was full of sort of, there were a few photos in there, and there was a couple of old sketchbooks and, some letters. So fairly general stuff, nothing sort of, earth-shattering. But it was rather wonderful to sort of think, oh my goodness, I put these away such a long time ago. And one of my favorite things that I found in this little sort of package was two little sort of plaster bookends, piece of Art Deco, probably a little too sort of, small and fragile to sort of really bookend anything. But there they were, and then they'd sat on. I remember sort of I bought them as a student in some little junk shop, and all these years later, I found them again, and they're now sitting in my studio. These two little plaster bookends, and they're very light, so they if a slightly large book decides to lean one way, they wouldn't really prop it up. But I thought that's a nice sort of, setting in a way for a little ghost to appear.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, these are all actually properly good haunted places. Now that you.
Mm, mm.
Yes. Yes, I had a feeling they were, but they're all haunted in different ways, and that's nice. I like that it really does kind of feel like, when you look at the pictures, you kind of feel like most of them really have a little bit of storytelling potential. Like you wonder what's behind some of the things. What's that picture? What's that statue? What's in the box in the attic? You know,
Yes,
what
absolutely.
window is that?
And I think the reason, I suppose, is we both sort of tell stories
Mm-hmm.
professionally. We make books and we illustrate them. So I suppose we're always looking for stories, both of us, in different settings. And cards are quite a nice starting point, aren't they, for story building and world building if one wants to sort of imagine a setting for something.
Yes. Yes, I think that's, I mean, it is. I mean, that's why you get, oracle cards, tarot cards, things like that, because they are so nice for that. They are just like little bits of potential storytelling, potential narrative. And then if you got some good rules to go with that that make you really feel like you're in the story a little
Mm.
bit,
So,
then you
Viv,
got a good game. So I think that's something that pleases me about this game, is that the main thing that I really knew I wanted when like designing it is that you just want to have the feeling that you keep seeing this ghost appear in places, appear
so
and
no
disappear.
pressure, Viv, but this is a little ghost in an attic,
Yes.
and it's discovered a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the story.
Oh goodness, I'm terrible at this. You know that. So what is it seeing? Um, I think it's whatever it's seeing. It's to do with the books, with bookends and the books on the back there.
Ah, good, good.
Yes, it is hoping to find out something. I think it's read something in one of the books, and it's made it curious about the world.
I want to know what it's read.
Yeah, I want to know what it's read.
No, no, you're the storyteller. You've got to tell
Oh,
me.
for goodness sake! I think it's read something about a place that's entirely very far away from it. And that I can't get to because it's in this house. So maybe it's,
Ah,
yes, it's never thought about um anything except for this house. I mean, it used to, because do you think it used to be alive, or is it
it
probably there's a
always
feeling
it is a ghost, isn't it? And
it is a
I
ghost.
think it's possibly, a guide, one of these sort of rather nice National Trust style guides,
Yes.
that it's remembering as it looks in the crystal ball. It's remembering some rather wonderful, forgotten moonlit garden. It might have sort of traversed the terrace somewhere.
Oh yeah, something properly haunted actually. Something like a
And
castle with a garden.
by some sort of tragic sort of, seance mistake, it's been packed up in this sort of in this packing crate and transported along with the book, which has the bookends have been to this suburban attic, and it can't actually get out. How does it escape?
Well, I guess. How does ghost? It would have to actually travel inside something, wouldn't it? Because a vampire has to like keep its earth, so the ghost would have to keep something of the house. Maybe you could travel in a book. Books can be haunted.
Exactly.
It
That's
would
that
make itself into a bookmark and drop the
excellent.
book out,
I
and then
like this.
wait.
I
Yes.
like this. there it is, sort of as a bookmark,
Yes.
in inserting itself into the pages of this lovely sort of guide to gardens, or a particular garden at a particular stately house.
And I would absolutely hope that whoever finds it is so fascinated by this guide that they want to actually go there and pay it a visit.
As luck would have it, the owner of the house in which this attic is situated has a clear out. And so this haunted book, or at least a book containing a ghost, ends up at the local Oxfam shop and is purchased for a very reasonable price at the aforementioned Oxfam shop, and by a sort of an enthusiast for stately homes and gardens. Through another sort of, wonderful sort of fortunate coincidence, the little ghost is in this tourist's bag on a visit to the very stately home that it has seen in the crystal.
This is good. I mean, this is not a coincidence. This is just very good planning, really.
Taken back to the very garden that it remembers fondly, and it escapes from the book because the book will be opened and read, as all books do, allowing the ghost to just subtly leave the dusty, dry leaves of the guidebook and re-enter the garden that it
See,
remembers.
I want that to be just the beginning of the story. I want that to be the way that the ghost realizes this is the way to travel. And from then on, it just starts becoming a bookmark whenever it wants to go anywhere.
And of course, you'd have to call it the bookmark ghost.
The bookmark ghost, yes. No, I like that.
Oh, well, it's a thing, isn't it, Viv?
Chapter 1, definitely. That is a nice way to travel. Yes.
It could be a very nice way to travel. And I suppose, every time a book is swapped, it might see the opportunity to sort of go on another little adventure.
Yes.
I
actually do like playing cards as bookmarks as well. They do. They are good for that as well. But don't, because then you just, you lose them. It's better to play with them. It's a good game.
It is, but you've got to remember, Viv, if you do lose cards, they go on their travels and stuff, you can always buy a new set. A very
good.
price.
Good salesmanship.
Available from betonmond, our little card company. And let's not forget, endorsed by the very talented singer-songwriter Phoebe Bridgers.
Yep. Well, we've done nearly half an hour. We've done well.
We have, I think, Viv.
That's a second live stream.
We've created a little story. We've, explained how to play Little Ghosts.
Well, more or less.
A bit of background into it, and done a few little drawings as we gone. So it's been an absolutely charming second Betonmont Friday, and we should do it again very soon.
Yes, let's. Well, thank you. Excellent. Okay, see you soon again. Thank you. Here we go.